talk about.
Hey, we're back. Welcome back to the Cavalry, everybody. We are joined, terrific guest in studio.
Yeah, in person, in studio. That's
In
right.
studio.
It's like Regis and Kathy Lee. Give it up.
It's Johnny and Carmen.
Johnny and Carmen.
Thanks for having me back, as I've
Of
already been a
course.
guest. So
I
I
know.
know.
It's good to be
Repeat
back.
guest. Quite the honor.
Pete.
What are you doing at Johnny's studio?
Yeah, what are you doing at Cavalry Studios anyway?
Headquarters.
Well, you know, I was like, I never seen the studio in person. So, you know, so some people go to Sun Studios, you know, in Memphis. They want to see where the magic happens. They want to see where Elvis recorded all of his albums. And that's kind of what I want to do, guys. I want to see where the Cavalry magic happens.
Yeah, she wanted to see all the Legos on the floor in person.
Yes.
Yeah, just like Elvis.
Yep. I stepped on 'em.
Johnny and Elvis, the studios might not be the same, but the diet, I think, is pretty similar.
Yes.
I was trying to
I don't
think
know.
of
It's
that.
funny because I was complaining I didn't feel good, whether I had a hangover or what, and then we diagnosed that it was the full pint of Ben and Jerry's I had after midnight last night.
Then
That
went
doesn't
to sleep
sound right.
almost
That-
immediately, and then
Yes.
was like, "Oh, I don't know why I don't feel so good today." And I was like, "Well,
It's like tummy issues. I don't know what it's not my head. It's more my tummy.
That still doesn't add up to me because that does not sound like it should make you feel bad. That sounds like nothing.
I know.
compared-
Well, and I told Erin, I was like, yeah, it's not a thing new. I've done that before. And she's like, yeah, but every day the next day you're like complain. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I do.
Oh, I've never put the two together before.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, God. Talk about hangovers. I went to the Seahawks game on Sunday, the home opener. They lost.
Oh.
It was a big disappointment. But,
That's football for all you listeners.
yeah, that's right. They got promoted from college.
That's
They're
right.
in the NFL now. No, but we tailgated. Me and my friend Brant came up for the game, and oh my God, just like totally like I don't drink. I drink like pandemic style now. You know what I mean? It's like a cocktail, glass of wine, maybe 2 glasses of wine, and then in bed like 10:30. That's the new me. And I don't know if it's because I'm older or if the pandemic changed me, but I tried to like day drink like 3 IPAs by like noon, and then like had another beer at the game. Then I had a show at a brewery after that, another couple of beers. I had a horrible hangover before I went to bed. Has that ever happened to you? Like the hangover started in the same day that I got drunk.
Isn't that just being really drunk?
No, no, because I wasn't drunk anymore. My head hurt. I was like, oh, beer
Oh.
sounds awful. Like it wasn't fun at all.
I have kind of a similar situation, but sometimes I don't even get to get the drunk part. Like
Yeah, that's what
sometimes
happened to me.
it just depends on like I guess my body chemistry for that day or whatever, or or maybe it's because I'm getting older as well, but it's like sometimes it'll just be like I will have a drink, not even feel anything yet, and I'm already getting a headache. I'm like, are we skipping the fun part now? Is
yeah.
it just I'm just having I'm just getting hungover? Like
That's exactly what happened to me. I never remember really being drunk at all. And like it was ever improving the time that I was having, but it just made everything way worse. It made me feel really bad. And like I had the worst headache I've ever had. So I'm out of shape when it comes to actual drinking, I think. And those days might be over for me.
We're just all getting older. That's what it is.
That's what this has sounded. Yeah, Johnny can't house a pint of Ben and
Alcoholics is a
Jerry's.
young man's game, dude. It's not old alcoholics. So that's why they always hate their lives, is because they're doing something they shouldn't be. Their body's telling them to stop doing.
They played Flip Cup at the tailgate I was at. You guys ever play Flip Cup?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm incredible at Flip Cup. I took like 14 years off of Flip Cup. It just came right back to it.
It's
It was
like riding a bike.
just like riding it back. I was killing it. I was like, oh my God, if you could somehow monetize this,
So many of those games are so disgusting. Between like pong, the beer pong, and like there's just like there is a blatant disregard for cleanliness in a lot of these drinking games.
Well, in the COVID era, that is nice that it's like, because before, yeah, you're right, cups would be shared and beers spilled all over the table and sloshing around. It is very unhygienic. But in the COVID era, the great pains were taken to individualize cups, changing out cups every game. I was like, this is actually the way it should be all the time.
To this pandemic, there really are so nice silver linings. Sure, over 600,000 people dead, but we're having our own cup for drinking games.
Right, it was all worth it. Thank you for your sacrifice.
Collateral damage.
Yeah, for a cleaner flip cup future. So, anyway, yeah, we were both hurting probably then for totally different reasons. Carmen, were you hurting at all this week? Did you have too much ice cream or too much beer?
You also had both too, which I think probably.
I had what?
You had beer and you had ice cream.
I had like
that was
3
probably.
beers.
That's what he had 3 beers and then a pint of ice cream almost immediately after. And then today he's like, I don't know why. And I'm like, you drank bread and then, ate melted cheese, a whole pint of melted cheese. Like, come on, bud.
That sounds pretty good, actually. Bread and melted cheese.
Yeah, getting us all hungry here.
I could have that before my ice cream and beer.
I've been on this tour. I've been picking my spots. There's like a here or there, but for the most part, I haven't been drinking. I don't know if it's a pandemic thing, but I haven't really been tying them on like I once used to. And then there was like one night where I drank like a champ. And then the next morning, like that's the other thing too. That's so crazy to me is sometimes I'll have one drink and feel shitty in an hour, and then some nights I'll drink 8 cocktails in a matter of 3 hours, and wake up the next day fucking fine. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's like I don't know if it's like quality of alcohol. You're right. Like for me, I love those IPAs, but like you can only have 2. You really can't. You cannot have more than 2. And it's just like it doesn't matter what the time frame is, 2 and 24 hours. That's it.
How many frog vices can you have in an hour?
What is that like a German
it's fig, raspberry, orange, and ginger frog.
Oh, that sounds healthy.
Third Space Brewing. Yeah, it's fruity.
Yeah. You can have 4 of those.
A bunch of fruits. I'd hope it'd be fruity. It'd be funny if you're like, tastes kind of like metal. I don't know. All these fruits really.
It's weird.
I'm not picking up the figs.
Yeah.
Yeah, but sometimes like one time I had when we were recording, I had a pineapple IPA and it didn't taste pineapple at all. It tasted like a beer.
No,
horrible.
IPAs always taste like IPAs. It's like they try to like, it's just got lemon or orange or whatever. It's like they're too strong to taste like anything but IPAs. But yeah, so no, you can have I think 3.5 of those, and that's great to do that the day after you don't feel well. So you got to get right back. I can't wait
till he eats another pint of ice cream after this, and then wonders why he doesn't feel good tomorrow.
Are you locked and loaded?
That one. I don't have one. There isn't one in the house.
That's the only thing stopping you.
I know. I have to make that decision when I'm in the store. Like I can't decide later. It's out of my hands. If it's in the house, I'm eating it. So I have to resist buying it.
Well, man.
But I will tell you this on the counter side, because I know we're painting a picture of me being very unhealthy. But I ran 10 miles 2 nights ago. The night before last night. 10 miles.
So we had to make up for it. He had done so much work. He was just like, I earned these 3 beers and pint of ice cream. And
that's
then
it's so that's what the show is. No, you're right, Johnny. We do. I feel like we spend an equal amount of time describing you as someone who's about to die and someone who's going to live to be 130 years old. I mean, the show is like 50-50, and I don't know where that breaks out. I don't know how that lands, but
I think that balances out. You live a decent, long enough life. You don't live too long, and you're enjoying it. You know,
you don't want to live long enough. What do they say?
Where you're a burden on your family.
Well, that and you live if you live long enough.
Well, we don't care about that.
The villain. What is it in Dark Knight?
You die the hero or live long enough to become the villain.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
If you're like, if you make it to a certain age, you're gonna start leaving riddles everywhere and stealing from children's charities.
Yeah.
That's,
I'm
you know,
more
those
of
old
I'm more
people.
of a Riddler than a Joker.
They walk around like a penguin.
Yeah.
Yeah. And shoot people with their
With my
gun
umbrella?
cane. Or yeah, umbrella. That's right. Dang it, I was so
Get
close.
it right, Andrew. Jesus.
Come on.
I'm sorry, and it was just Batman Day.
That's right.
Did you see? Did they just invent that?
You guys
Is that one they
vigilante
just?
for Batman Day? Isn't that how you
No.
celebrate?
I
Did you
agree.
guys vigilante and go stop a crime or something?
I feel like that's one they just pulled out of their ass, right? Like that. There was no Batman Day before this year, was there? Do you ever remember
It's a
hearing-
marketing thing from the new Batman movie.
I've never celebrated.
I
Did
like
you-
when they spring these like fake.
I banged a dude in a Batman mask.
Well,
Does
there
that
you go.
count?
See, she did
I
her
try to
part.
do something.
I just didn't rape anyone.
Yeah, I murdered someone's parents in an alleyway. Is that how you celebrate Bat? They didn't give us specifics on how we were supposed to do it.
We
So-
need instructions.
Yeah. So I did both things just because I didn't know. So I was, am I supposed to kill somebody's parents? Am I supposed
Right.
to bang a Batman? Like, what
And
am
the
I-
sad thing was, you killed a bunch of people before you found parents. You're like killing. You don't have kids? God damn it! All right, where's another
Dude,
couple?
I need your kid, but not. I just need them here watching. Are they at
Yeah.
home?
Oh yeah, wait, your kid
They have
wasn't
to
watching.
see
Did
it
you
happen.
come
Yeah, they have
back?
to see it happen. I'm trying to make more Batmans.
You prop them up like Weekend at Bernie's to like make the kid think they're still alive, so you can shoot them again. Okay, did you see this time? They're
Yeah,
dead. You're
okay.
scarred forever. Okay, good.
Okay.
And now back.
Cavalry goes dark.
No.
Cavalry goes Dark Knight is what it goes.
I just brought up Batman Day, which was a very Regis and Kelly topic, but then you guys took it.
and then that's why they don't have comedians on Regents and Kelly.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. Let's get healthier. I don't know. I haven't been to my workout class in a while. That's the other problem. I need to start getting back to my exercise.
CrossFit
class.
knockoff.
Yeah, 10 miles. Holy Lord! Are you gearing up for another marathon?
I think I'm gonna pull the trigger on this marathon November 14th.
the full
The
boat.
whole
13?
26.2.
Oh, that's half. When is the 13?
Half is the
one?
13.
Mhm.
That's what I did last couple weeks ago. No big deal. No big hairy deal.
No
Yeah.
big hairy deal.
No big hairy deal.
Is that a Midwest saying?
I don't know.
Did you
don't-
just
Do
make
you have
that
any
up?
sayings that you say that you don't even know if you made up or you heard somewhere?
No big hairy deal. You could convince me either way, because I don't think I've heard that before, but it totally sounds like an awful.
I feel
old
like
saying.
I started saying because people say, you know, hairy dick, hairy D, big hairy D,
Don't
hairy
think
deal.
I don't think that's a saying either.
Yeah, I think those might be the friends that you have in your head sometimes.
You're just
You're
at-
just hanging out with
All
you
right,
in your
well,
buds.
That's the truth.
You're just at Home Depot, and they're like, "Oh, we're actually out of the green paint. Ah, no big hairy D." And they're like, "What?"
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm starting to think I may have come up with it on my own and not used it out loud.
You
very
forgot
often.
to tell everybody. It's like Batman Day. You just started using it, and you didn't
Yeah.
warn anyone.
Do you
Who
have a
knows?
thing that you say that you think you don't know if you made up?
I don't think so. No. I don't. I don't think so. I'm trying to think, but
All of
you?
your sayings are ripoffs.
all my sayings are ripoffs.
What about you, Carm?
Ooh, I don't. There are turn of phrases that I use that I don't know that anybody else has made, but I can't think of them now. Like that's the other thing is, somebody just recently told me this after this past weekend is that like that I make up these concise turn of phrases and like in my bits and stuff like that, but I don't ever think
Oh, like
about
on
it.
stage?
Yeah, like on
Okay.
stage, like but I don't know if like, yeah.
Oh wait,
Yeah,
I remember. I do have one. I like if like say that you're out of my order. Like I ordered pepperoni pizza, but you're out of it.
All right. Sorry, sir. We don't have any pepperoni pizza.
Oh, don't worry. It's no big bald asshole.
I think I heard that. Wasn't that Milton
Yeah.
Berle?
Yeah,
Milton Berle
that's-
used to say that.
My
That's been around
grandfather.
a while.
I think he used to say that back in North Dakota on the farm.
Do you have like in real life bits? I've had in real life bits one night that I always do with like a server or something. Whenever I go to like a diner or something, and I'm like, "What do you want to drink?" And I was like, I'd love an iced tea," and they're like, "Sweet," and I go, "No, bitter, just like me," and it always gets a laugh. I love that.
Ah, that's good. Yeah.
Except for one time, there was this dude that was like really dumb, and he was just like, "So, you don't want sugar?" And I was like,
I don't understand humor. Can you cut that out and tell me your order?
I was like, never mind.
My buddy Sean used to do this thing where we'd go, if we go out to eat, and he'd order a Coke. You know, they'd be like, "Is Pepsi okay?" And he just like, he'd do it so dramatically, but he'd just slump back into his chair. You know, yeah, that's fine. He'd do it so dramatically. It was very funny to me. And I'm sure the servers, like, I don't know. You never know what jokes, like the bitter iced tea, that's probably like, you know, you don't hear that one. But you never know what stuff you're doing. Then you're like, oh, do they get the? It's like when you play a club and they have like a hissing steam pipe behind you. And you gotta fucking make fun of this, right? It's so stupid and loud and annoying. But then you go, do they just? Was that there last year? Like, is everybody who comes every week they come, the comedian's gonna spend 10 minutes talking about this stupid thing? So
yeah, that was happened a lot at Funny Bones and stuff. Every time I was at a Funny Bone, it'd be like, you know, somebody would talk about the fact that they were in a mall, and they're like, yeah, everybody mentions that we're in a mall, and I'm like, well, it does suck. This isn't a fucking Spencer's Gifts, all right? This is a fucking establishment.
There's a reason everyone says something.
Yeah, it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good.
I just did a show in a mall, and I did the exact same thing. Yeah. I talked about the Claire's across the way and the whole bit. It's very, very derivative.
Yeah.
Oh, well. But I like when the comedy clubs, I don't know, if, like, there was this one in Spokane one time, and then sometimes, you guys have probably had this happen, but they'll literally put in the instructions or the itinerary or whatever. Don't make fun of, like, X. Like, we haven't drywalled the bathrooms yet, but don't make fun of it. We don't want. We're tired of comedians making fun of our exposed pipes in the bathroom. And it's like, or you guys could, you know, drywall the bathroom.
Right.
So comedians stop making. Like, instead, you've put it in print that you didn't want the comics to make fun of your thing that you could just fix.
That was this isn't my story, but a very good friend of mine was doing it was like probably like some one-off Yoder gig or something that doesn't even exist anymore. And he was doing the gig, and it was like during the holidays, and he was on the stage, fell through the stage, made fun of the fact that he fell through the stage, and they asked him not to come back because they made fun of the venue. He's like, what did you want me to do?
My God.
You want
just
me
not
to not
mention
address the fucking how I almost got hospitalized? You don't want me to you just want me to act like that's normal, not make fun of the fact that I fell through the goddamn stage? Like,
that's ridiculous.
Another one, it was like funny. He got fired because he made fun of the Christmas tree that was on this. That's what it was. It was the same. That's what it was. The same show. He made fun of the Christmas tree on stage because it looked like a fucking Charlie Brown Christmas. Like, it looked all tattered and stuff. So he made fun of the sad Christmas tree and then fell through the stage. Made fun of that, and they're like, no, we don't like. They didn't like that you made fun of the venue. And it's just like, what the fuck do you want me to do?
That's so stupid. I happened to me one
time.
time.
I don't like it when people point out how we mistreat them. So.
Yeah. I broke a stage. I did some gig one time, like a one-nighter, and the stage broke, you know, halfway through. Just one leg of it. And so it just collapsed on me, and I joked about it. But the funniest part was I was talking about, like, how much I loved Wendy's. As the
So it was a well-timed.
And I was opening for this guy named Dwayne, and for the rest of my set, he was just doubled over laughing at me, like how fat it looks to talk about loving Wendy's and literally breaking the stage.
That's perfect.
Yeah. Well,
Wendy's is a great restaurant.
Wendy's gets brought up a lot too. Wendy's, marathons, Ben and Jerry's. We hit
those are our sponsors.
Our bread and butter topics.
KFC, Taco Bell.
Yeah. But Carmen,
yes,
as our guest, do you have anything you need backup on this week?
I would like more backup on the fact that I don't like a lot of the shit you guys just mentioned. How about that? Like
what?
Wait a minute. What the hell? Get out of here.
Yikes. You came all this way to see the studio, and then you're going to take a big hairy dump?
I never. I'll be a bald asshole. I don't believe that's the way you're supposed to be on someone else's show.
Well, it's just like I guess I get shit because they're just like it's perceived as being pretentious, like the fact that I don't like Taco Bell. Like, I get that it's a stoner food. I get that it's like, but it's like fucking sand. It's not even meat, dude. Like, that's the other thing too. Is like, I'm still a fat chick. I still eat poorly, but at least it's poor food. Like,
So you don't
Taco
like,
Bell.
but does it taste? I understand it's low quality.
No, but
as
it's
far as
not
the
even
taste-
food though. It's just cheese on sand. Like, that's all it is. Like,
I feel like we're not. I feel like we're not communicating. That's irrelevant. Does the cheese on sand taste good? Is my question.
I'm actually, Carmen, I'll back you up. I don't like taco. I never go to Taco Bell.
I don't
I'm
like
sorry,
it. I
Johnny,
don't fucking
but-
like it.
Yeah.
Dude, and this is the other thing is that I also remember reading a news story about how like somebody ate Taco Bell and then the next morning their gums started bleeding because there were maggots that had laid eggs in their gums because there was like fucking like I saw the pictures, Johnny. It was
Well,
disgusting.
no,
Someone
that
also
wasn't
got
taco.
vaccinated and then their balls got really big. But
I mean,
we're
that's
not-
hearsay. I didn't see pictures of the balls. See, I think if Nicki Minaj would have posted pictures of the balls, I would have been more on board. You know?
But
Did he
that could-
inject? Did he take the vaccine into the balls? Nobody's asked that question. Did he take the shot? Went in each balls, and those balls got huge. Like maybe they just were. He wasn't getting inoculated.
Yeah. Why
correctly.
didn't no one ask that question?
Why? It was
They
why are you
asked
taking the
me.
shot in the balls?
They asked me.
Yeah,
They're
see
like,
what they
which
say.
which ball do you want it in? Are you right bald or left bald?
And you just said, "Oh, can you just do my shoulder like everyone else?"
Yeah.
All
Oh,
right. That's
oh.
fine.
Makes
Hey,
sense. Yeah.
your life.
Yeah.
If you want
Your
your arm to
your
be
body,
numb,
your body, your choice. Whatever, buddy.
I was curious if he got the Johnson & Johnson because then it just has one big testicle and the other one's like small.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, I know guys' testes are fucking never proportionate anyways, especially as you get older. But still, I think a
What?
Johnson & Johnson. What? You never notice you got one nut that hangs a little lower than the other?
I weigh them
Oh,
every
yeah,
day.
I don't know if they're the same size, but yeah, one hangs lower for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think mine. I think mine are pretty even. Hang on.
I don't think they're supposed to. I think one's supposed to hang
Wait,
lower.
are you guys getting this? Let me get the.
Calm
little
it down,
camera.
Joey Diaz. Calm it down. You don't gotta show us your rat's nest, all right? Relax. But yeah, like that was the whole thing. I was that's why like how a lot of times like older as gentlemen get older, they get the left nut pain where it's just like one of your nuts will just bother you, like hurt.
I've got that, yeah. But that I went to the doctor for that one time because I was worried about that. But then they said it was probably related to like my back sciatica nerve thing.
They said your shitty back muscle is making your nut hurt.
Well, no, the nerve. So like your sciatic.
Right, but most
I
of
just wanna-
most of sciatica is caused because there's this tiny like little triangular muscle that's in your lower right hand side of your back that like controls all of these things, and when it tightens up it pulls everything together and then everything's super tight, and then that's how you get the nerve pain, is because everything's like slammed together, so your nerves getting compressed because those muscles are all like fucking jacked up and like
Yeah, but
tight
they
and
said there's
packed.
like some nerve that connects down into your nuts from your back.
Oh, all right. Oh, is that
I don't
like
know.
how
That's
there's,
what they
like,
told me.
apparently-
And mine wasn't. I don't know if mine is sciatica, but mine is more like the discs is sliding into the nerve, you know. So like I have like a herniated and a bulging disc, and they hit the
Mhm.
nerve, and then that is what That's what they. Anyway, that's what they explained it to me.
Well,
You
how
know,
are
these
your
doctors.
balls?
I
What's
mean,
that?
I don't trust them. I mean, like they already didn't tell us about the vaccine making your balls bigger, so
I know.
I don't know if I would trust their consensus
Yeah.
about what's wrong with your back. So
Well, I don't know. It's it's a big mystery, but I will back you up on Taco Bell. I'm telling you, I like to eat too. I love to eat, and I do like the higher quality. Like if I was rich, if I had endless, this might be the difference between me and Johnny. But like, if I had endless supply of money, I would exclusively eat like really fancy restaurants, really like top, and I wouldn't eat at like crappy places. You know, there's no part of me that's ever like craving like Wendy's over, you know, whatever, Ruth's Chris or something. But it's just the convenience factor and the money factor.
See,
But Johnny,
I
if
don't
you had
have
like
this
if you had
money.
like $1 billion, right, you would still go to Taco Bell sometimes.
Well, here's the thing about Taco Bell. I literally only eat 2 items on the menu, and I've probably only had 2 items on the menu my whole life: chili cheese burritos, chicken quesadillas, as we've some previous episode. That's all I've ever had. That's all I've ever had from Taco Bell.
You never got a Crunchwrap Supreme
No.
or a fucking
I've never had the
cheesy whipped
Dorito thing.
crunch?
No, I've never had any of those.
You never had the sand?
If it's not, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
But what I'm
And
asking
I love
is,
chili cheese burritos and I love chicken quesadilla. Why have anything else?
but like Warren Buffett.
So you still didn't answer the question. So if you had endless amount of money, you would still go there and you'd still order those things.
Taco Bell. I mean, from time to time, probably not as often as I do now.
Well, here's the
You
counterpoint.
think Michael Jordan never eats at McDonald's or Taco Bell or
Maybe
any-
not. I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah,
We
I
don't
know.
know.
Yeah, that's
We
what I'm saying. I
don't know.
We don't know.
Obviously, think he does.
I'll
I
put one
think
in
I
your.
assume he would.
I'll put one in your corner, Johnny. Warren Buffett every day gets a McDonald's breakfast sandwich, and if he made money, he gets the one with cheese, and if he didn't make money, he gets it plain because it's cheaper. The day before.
You sure he means that, or he's just saying that because he owns a lot of McDonald's stocks?
Well, no, that's a great point. How honest these Wall Street guys.
Again,
you
none
know.
of the 3 of us know the answer.
No.
Because see,
What a-
I don't have an
what a
endless amount of
podcast
money,
is
and
this?
I still won't go there. I still won't go. Like, I don't like the only time I ever eat there is if I have no other option. Like if it's 2:00 in the morning and I forgot to eat dinner, and it's just like the only thing that I have. Like,
Is it because it's gross to you, or because it's like unhealthy, terrible food?
no, that's my point. Is I'm still a fat chick. I still eat unhealthily sometimes.
You
So
just don't like.
that, but just because I know it's not food, I'll eat bad food, but it's not even fucking food.
All right, I give you credit for that.
Fried food is not good for you, but I enjoy fried food. But the fact that the key word in there is food.
Food,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Mhm. So I
See,
just
yeah,
know.
I get
just
that.
Know. I just know too much about it for me to genuinely enjoy it. Like I'm eating it, I'm like,
I can't argue, but I will eat it myself. I will eat it knowing this might not be food.
yeah.
You know? Is that terrible?
Hey,
I
I just want to see you doing that.
am made to feel that way anytime I do that with Aaron.
This may not be food, but god damn it if it doesn't taste good going down the gullet. I'll be a bald asshole if this isn't. Well,
yes.
Yeah, I'm with you, Carmen. I'm with you. Like I think you're right. I have upped my fast food game lately, like on the road, just because like I don't want to eat inside, pandemic, and then
Mhm.
it's like nothing's open great after 10 o'clock anymore because it's just like a lot of people have cut shifts and hours and stuff. So I've hit a lot more fast food lately, and I do feel bad like the next day.
I thought you meant like I feel bad that I'm not eating more fast food. Johnny would be so disappointed. I feel bad.
Oh, I got something else that I would like some support on if
Let's
you guys
do
want.
it.
Fire away.
I have
Yes.
I'm over this fucking glamping thing. Have you guys seen this? Where people go camping and by that they bring a 4-star fucking hotel to
Oh,
a
yeah.
piece of grass, and then they want to have. They're like, it's like, oh, you're not fucking camping then. Just get a hotel.
Oh, this
Get
is
a
great.
hotel in
Good.
the woods, you
This is
fucking
perfect.
asshole. No, I'm so sick and tired. Let's go glamping. No, you are incapable of sleeping in the woods, and that's why you had to bring a whole fucking house with you to be able to. I'm in nature. No, you're not. You're ruining nature with your goddamn structure that you built.
Okay, well, this brings us back to what we discussed a little bit ago. What is your definition of camping? How do you define what camping is?
Camping is like camps. Like, here's the other thing too: is I'm not knocking RVing. I think that's different because you're traveling from place to place with your house with you, and there's RV parks specifically for that. I'm talking about the people that go glamping, where instead of bringing just a tent and bonfire or sleeping
right.
bag. No, they gotta bring a fucking hotel room with them. Like some of these like they're basically building a house wherever the fuck they go. Like
Yeah.
that's not camping. That's not. I want a thin piece of nylon separating me from the elements. That's the whole point.
I want to say two things quick. First of all, I am so proud of us that we remembered that Carmen, the exact opposite viewpoint was expressed on this show by comedian Steve Rogers. And he was saying the total opposite of what you're saying. He says he doesn't like when people criticize what they think is camping, like when they legislate. So this is so good. This is first in Cavalry history that we've had the counterpoint from a guest. And also, we remembered that we talked about, because most of the times we don't remember what we talk about on this show.
Well,
So
here's the
two
thing.
things that are
It's
great.
not the same if they created a new word for it, all right? That's why it's called glamping. It's not called fucking camp. And I'm tired of these live, laugh, love moms that are like, let's make it so it's your home. You're not supposed to feel like you're home. You are in. There is an imminent danger of a bear eating your fucking family. And I think that it should be, an element that should be there. Like, that's the whole point, is to remind you, oh yeah, we are way safe being at home. You know, like, that's the whole thing. Is sure, it's gorgeous, and this is how things used to be, and this is how like we used to scavenge for food, and this is like camping helps you appreciate the fact that you live inside of a structure. You know,
I'm so nervous to back you up or not back you up, because I don't remember I feel like I'll be a hypocrite because I
know I don't want to look like a hypocrite.
But I feel like I'm with
counter
you.
what I said weeks ago.
But I also think at the time I said
you
camping.
You guys are you don't
Well,
genuinely give your
no, we're supposed
opinion.
to. We have to have the facade of.
Well, we're trying to get
Genuine
there. That's the point. I want to
Yeah,
be
we try to
real,
get there.
but I'm trying to get there.
It can't be blind.
Okay, so how do you guys genuinely feel about it? And then let the audience decide who you were lying to.
Ooh, that sounds dangerous. No, here's what I'll say. I think I remember taking Steve's side, and then I remember thinking that, and then I remembered asking him, like, well, where do you draw the line? Like, when is it not camping anymore? Like Johnny asked.
Right.
And I think I remember saying, like, what if you go and there's cabins there, but they're really rickety old cabins, but they're cabins. Is that camping? You didn't bring them. You didn't bring anything fancy, live, laugh, love, anything like that. But you just went to a cabin that's
No, that's staying in a cabin. That's not camping.
Shit.
That's renting a cabin. You just said what it is. That's renting a fucking cabin. I'm
But
talking
it's
about
on-
you go to a
but
piece
wait.
of earth and you live on that piece of earth.
Wait, so the thing, what exactly makes it glamping? If it's not you're bringing your
Well,
RV,
there's a
so
different-
that's different.
I think that is different because
Right.
it's traveling with your home. So everywhere you go, the same home's with you. But I'm talking about the people that like they'll get like a huge like party tent. They build a bed, you know, and they have a fucking
They have
nightstand.
room
Yeah, that's what I'm
dividers.
saying. They're room dividers, and they got a fucking like a kitchenette. Like, dude, where's the fire? You know, like that's what I'm talking about. And there's a lot of them that have these they're like these fancy huts that are called
Yurts.
Yurts.
Yeah, I said in a yurt.
Which is like yurt. Which again to me is
That's
just
camping?
a round fucking cabin. It's just a goddamn
No.
cylindrical cabin. And it just has more. They're just figuring out ways to charge you more to live outside. Like it makes no sense. It sounds like a scam to me. Like,
Well, let me
what's
tell you
the
something.
point?
You lost me because it occurred to me while you were explaining your thing. And I hear you, but if you erect a tent, I don't care how fancy the tent is, it's camping.
Well,
tent.
then what
I
is
was
glamping?
claiming that staying in a if it's on a campground, that staying in a cabin is camping, or staying in a yurt is camping. So if you're making your own tent, if you're putting it up, that's camping.
even if it's as big as a half a house.
Yeah. That's my position.
Okay.
So you think a cabin in a yurt is camping?
I think so. I think I made that. Because what if you went to like a campground, right? And there's tents there, there's RVs there, There's like 3 cabins and like 5 yurts, and you're like, oh, there's no. Okay, we'll just stay in one of the yurts. I mean, you went with a big group, and other people were in tents. You say we went on a camping trip, and you came home. We went camping. Oh, we stayed in a yurt. You stayed in a tent. I mean, what's really the difference?
There's a big difference. There's a fucking building. Is it different? There's a building of difference between you sleeping in a nylon tent on the ground and you having a goddamn bed. There's a huge fucking difference.
Okay, what about
There's
old?
a kitchen. There's running water. There's a fucking shower. Like
No, there's no
all
kitchen.
of those things.
No kitchen. Not in a yurt.
Those yurts got fucking kitchens in them.
No.
So
you,
do a lot
you got
of
a bad
cabins.
yurt, Andrew. You got a bad
I got a
yurt.
shitty yurt.
Yeah.
I got a lemon yurt. No, but the yurt I stayed in, just beds, bunk beds, and then canvas roof, and it was round.
Mhm.
But there was a heater. There was a heater, but no kitchen, and no running water. So is that camping?
I think it's just a shitty yurt. You still have a structure. Like, you can't carry a yurt around with you. Like, it's built there. When you're camping, to me, when you're camping, you have your home in your backpack. That's it. That's camping.
But then why are you
'Cause
giving
you can go anywhere.
why are you giving credit to RV people then? That feels more luxurious than a yurt.
But then I think that's RVing. I don't think that's camping either. I'm saying I'm
Well,
not
now
shitting
it's
on
semantics. Now we're
No,
just-
because that's why it's called a campground and RV park. Because it's both things. Because they're
Okay.
not the same thing.
But there's no
So
yurt.
I'm saying I'm not
There's
shitting
no
on people,
yurt
but I don't think they're the
field.
same thing.
So the campground
Exactly.
is where the yurts are. So it's camping. Anything's done on the campground is camping.
I disagree.
Oh boy, I'm sorry. This is really, Carmen, not your fault. But I've already been wedged in on this issue because I think I spoke quite strongly when Steve spoke on the topic. So I really cannot go back on this.
Was this the topic where I got in trouble for asking who gives a shit?
That's right. No, that was the
Gives a
whole
shit? Your
episode.
audience gives a shit. You guys want me to give bitch about
I
something?
know. And that's when Andrew pointed out. No, Johnny, you could say that about literally anything. We don't say who gives a shit.
Literally, the entire world says that about our podcast. Who gives a shit? Two dudes with another. I mean, who gives it? What are they talking about? Not Taco Bell and but yeah. Not only did you say who gives a shit about this topic, you said who gives a shit. I think like on 4 other topics.
No, not about this topic. But I'm just saying, if someone wants to if someone's like, no, we went camping, and it's like, well, okay, you can think, fine, the baby can have their bottle, you can pretend, yes, you can tell your friends you went camping, even though Carmen or me and Carmen would be like, okay, they didn't really go camping.
All I have to
Right?
say is go fuck yourself.
Two. I don't know if
Sounded
that's
like
to
she was
me
talking to
or
you.
to the person glamping.
I think she was
I'm
talking
talking
to you.
about the glamping people. Well, that's the thing. They're bringing like a mini bar and like it's glam. Like it's glam. It's supposed to be glamorous camping. And it's
Yeah.
just like, then there's nothing rugged about that. If that's the case, just get a fucking hotel room because you don't really want to be doing the nature thing.
That I'm with you. That'll back you up on, because my wife and I are definitely more hotel people. We're not big campers, and that's what I would say to those. I would just go, let's just go to a hotel. Let's just stay. I would much prefer stay at a hotel. So I'll be at the hotel and I'll meet you guys at the lake. And
You don't get a trophy for camping.
No.
So why
It's
not
used
go
for
hotel?
people. That's what the
you
whole
want to.
thing. People can't afford hotel
Right.
rooms all the time. They buy a $50 tent and they pay $12 to sleep in their $50 tent. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
And now
so that
it's
part.
like rich kids want to go outside too. So it's just like Steven Rogers is a goddamn rich kid. How about that? I said it. You want to start a feud?
Yeah, I do. We've moved on to a new format. Guest feuds. We pit guests against each other to create controversy and buzz. You guys heard about what happened on the Cavalry last week? Oh my God. Got juicy.
It's all over YouTube. Next week, Morales versus Rogers. in the first ever guest versus guest
I like it.
Cavalry off.
Well, I think I can see there's a little backup for you, Carmen. I'm agreeing with you. Just go get a hotel. If that's what you want to do, stay in a hotel. It's much better. Any
Well, it's also like you're spending like $1,500 to go camping. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so what's the point? What's the get a week, get 2 weeks of a hotel.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. See? Consensus.
There,
That's what we
see,
like.
we're all on the same page. We're all friends again.
That's what we like to find on the show. Johnny, do you have a topic this week?
All right, so I'll talk about what this just came up upstairs. Me and Carmen and my lady Erin were discussing, and once again, Erin was discussing my 40-year-old girlfriend from high school. Because I dated while I was a freshman. I don't know if we talked about this on the podcast. I was a freshman in high school, and I dated a senior in high school.
Oh.
So
I feel like we have talked about this. Anyway.
Oh, we have? Oh.
So you were in 9th or 10th grade?
I
Because some
was
high
in-
schools are different.
I was in 9th grade. And
So
she
you were
was in
14
12th. I don't know that. Yeah,
or 15.
yeah, whatever you are when you're a freshman.
It depends on when your birthday is. So 14 or 15, and she
Okay.
was like 17 or 18.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think that's that big a deal.
Well, I don't think it's a big deal. My wife gives me such a hard time, and it's like, oh, I just think that's weird. But she has dated not in high school, but before she was, I don't know when, but she has dated a bigger gap where the man is older. Now, isn't that? And she's like, well, that's different. I don't think it's different.
It's not different at all.
It's not different at all.
Well,
Case
wait,
closed. Next topic.
Well,
No, but is it what?
I support you.
when was
What?
You got to give the details. What age was she dating? What age?
I was a freshman. She was a senior. I don't remember if I was 14, 15. She was 17, 18. I don't know.
So it's like
She's she's 3 years older.
yeah, she's just 3
She's
years
3
years
years
older. Three
No,
or
but I'm
four
saying-
at
oh,
the
so-
most 4 years older than him.
So you were
But
doing this.
but Erin thinks that it's weirder because the woman is older instead of the man being older. She's like, she said,
And-
especially it's weird because the woman, like, she was a senior and he was a freshman.
Because women are more mature than men in general around, So she's
So
like
she
more
thinks
than
it's-
mature than me.
It's obviously not weird for you as a freshman to want to date a senior girl. I mean, that's like the coolest thing ever, probably. But it might be weird. She's saying it's weird for this girl to have been interested
On
in you.
paper, it sounds like that. It sounds like that's the coolest thing ever. But really, it's just, hey, did you hear 2 fucking theater dorks are dating near the same age?
It's actually
I
kind of
also
brutal.
think that,
It's
What's
actually kind of
brutal?
brutal to date a senior as a freshman because did you have to take her to prom? That's like very expensive.
I went to her prom, and then we dated, I think, 2 or 2.5 years. So by the time my prom rolled around, we were not together anymore. But I went to her homecoming. I went to her prom. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know.
Yeah, see,
I
that's
guess,
like-
but I was afraid. Everything was new and weird. I didn't know that it was like weird on top of weird to be a freshman going to a
a senior
prom. Yeah.
It's funny
I
that
thought
you
that
were
was
a theater dork
were cool.
because now you look like a theater teacher.
professor.
Yeah, you look like you could teach theater in high school right now with the long hair.
Well, thank you.
Oh no, Johnny, that's not. That wasn't a compliment. Okay.
You didn't let me have that. Oh,
I support you on that.
Thank you,
Nice.
Carmen.
Yeah.
No, but see,
Let's
like,
talk about Stanislavski.
oh
right? Let's
God,
get into it.
let's do it, please.
It's a theater thing. You wouldn't
Yeah,
understand,
you wouldn't
Andrew.
get it.
It's a theater thing.
You
so.
were a
No.
cool kid, weren't you, Andrew?
Too busy playing football, being cool.
Oh,
High school.
football. Sure.
Theater kids were weird.
I guess I feel supported. I don't really.
You know what's funny?
Yeah,
I
think,
support you.
I don't think that makes sense.
No judgment. Your wife shouldn't judge you like that. That's wrong. And by the way, her thing is like gendered. That seems very That seems very
Oh,
unwoke to like say, oh, it's okay for a man and a
Yeah,
woman,
not
and a
progressive
woman and
at
a
all.
man. Canceled. Canceling
And-
on the podcast.
and I'm 40. I'm over 40. So is Aaron. So I don't know why I don't know why calling her my 40-year-old girlfriend is supposed to sting.
Yeah,
That's-
it's like I'm laying
that's like,
next to
yeah.
a 40-year-old.
Thank you. Exactly. Exactly.
Pretty
I
soon.
just knew my time a long time.
Well, that was my point that I brought up to her. Is I was like, it would be, I think, if he was a freshman in high school and she was 40, then it'd be like,
Right.
all right, did you go to school in Florida? Is that what happened? Like, then it makes more sense. But the fact that there was a 3-year difference, like, I
Yeah.
don't think that matters.
That just means I'm
Because
cool.
I dated a dude that was out of high school when I was in high school. I think I was in 10th grade, and the dude I dated was like 15, and I was like 15 or 14. No, 15.
Oh, see, that's the exact same thing.
Yeah. So it was like, yeah. Maybe
All right.
16. I'm 15, and he was like 19 or something like that. But of course, like, I think at that age, it's also super weird because you have the statutory age,
Yeah.
and you have like, so I guess that would be the weird part, is if she was over 18 and you were under 18, because then that's considered kind of like statutory rape with consent from your parents. Like, so that could be the part that's weird, which if that's the case, I understand why you would think that's weird if she was like an adult or considered an adult and you're still considered a child. But that's also weird when you're both in school. Like, it's a weird dynamic because not everybody hits 18 when they're in high school. I hit 18 because I was in high school because of where my birthday was. Because then, like, your birthday decided like when you were gonna.
What month is
grade
your
you were
birthday?
I'm in October.
Oh, so am I.
Yeah. So I went, like, I could have probably gone to school a year sooner than I did, but I think it was like a weird cutoff or something that happened with my school that I had to basically wait another year to start school. So,
I just appreciate that Carmen's found a way to inject rape into multiple topics into this.
well, it's a genuine thing about the time, the ages. That's like
no,
a
I
thing.
know,
like,
I know.
There's plenty of
but,
dudes. Yeah, yeah. What else
Go
did I
in
talk about?
there.
We weren't putting our parts in our parts.
Yeah, you guys were just dry humping and stuff, right? Little make out, easy peasy.
Very.
I think that means she didn't like you very much, Johnny, if I'm being honest. And if that's the case, I support you and I'm sorry.
Thank you.
It shouldn't have been that dry a hump.
Thank you. So the
All
verdict
right.
is everyone backed me up.
I think that's what happened.
All right, now it's yours. What's the thing that you don't fucking like that I'm
Yeah,
going to
what's-
support you on?
All right, this one, I don't know if this is going to be controversial or not. But you know, like country music stars, they'll wear their cowboy hats often on stage, like as part of the show, or they'll wear their cowboy hat. I think it's stupid. They should not wear cowboy hats when they're like all dressed up going to, the Grammys or going to like the president dress. They'll like wear their cowboy hat. And it looks so dumb.
Well,
And like, what's the point? The point of the cowboy hat is to like, I mean, you're a cowboy, so you need to block the sun out. I get that. And then maybe I can suspend disbelief and you can wear it on stage because you're Garth Brooks and you're pretending to be a cowboy. But to wear it with like a tuxedo is the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life, and I can't stand it. And I want to go and steal their hat every time I see it.
I fully support everything you said. I don't think you even need to add the part about when they're trying to be fancy or when they're with a suit. I think cowboy hats are stupid as shit, and they should never wear because they look silly.
Even when they're
I
being
like
cowboys?
a cowboy.
Right, because
Yeah,
they're not
okay.
cowboys.
Oh, wait, he's saying even if you're a cowboy? He's saying if you're a cowboy.
Cowboys can wear them, but nobody sees cowboys because it's not a public
Because
profession.
they're out
yeah.
in the desert herding fucking
Yeah,
animals.
exactly. They're on
Cowboys should be-
stage. Yeah. They're not billionaires in arenas.
Cowboys should be seen in pictures and not heard or seen in public.
Yeah, exactly.
I like a cowboy hat. I get it. I mean, but then again, like hats in general are ridiculous. They're superfluous as far as dress. So it would be this. I would have to. It would have to be all hats. It would have to be all hats. There's cowboy hats that are specific to cowboying, and then there's different kinds of cowboy hats. That's the whole thing. They're not all the same cowboy hat. One of them is to keep the sun out of your eyes. Those are the big brim ones. They got the ones that are the curl up ones. Like some of them are just
what's
Western.
the point of the curl up ones?
What's the point of a fucking bowler hat? They're just hats.
What is a bowler hat?
A hat. Those were super big in like the like 1920s and stuff like that.
Oh,
that
it's
were
like
around.
all round.
It's a written the fedora. Like
Yeah.
what's the point of any of these? Because the fedora doesn't keep the sun out of your eyes.
That's
the brim's
true.
too teeny tiny. They're an accessory. I think what you really mean is you just don't like cowboy hats.
No. I like a cowboy hat. But here's where
Why?
here's my problem. The cowboy hat, because I like cowboy movies, you know, like I like old westerns. I like the cowboys.
Yeah, those are about cowboys, though.
Right. And the whole thing is like the cowboy is not some, you know, fancy banker from San Francisco who gets dressed up and goes to the Emmys, you know. The cowboy would laugh at going to that. So to see the cowboy hat and then a tuxedo is so freaking stupid. So it's more the contrast of the two styles that I don't like. It's like the visual representation of selling out, you know? Just don't try and go halfway. Don't go like, it's like, you know what, like this AOC wore this dress and it said like tax the rich on the dress, but she was at the Met Gala. And it's like, I don't like those cute things where you're trying to like walk a fine line. You're like, oh, because she knows like I represent a lot of working class poor people, but if I go to this really fancy ball, everyone's gonna say, oh, you're a sellout, so let me try and like thread the needle. Just go one way or the other. Either go or don't go. You know what I mean? I don't get mad if Garth Brooks goes to the Oscars, but you don't need to wear your stupid big hat and ruin the guys who's sitting behind you's evening.
See, but I totally agree with that. But I think you can't argue my point. They're stupid all the time. Like they shouldn't wear them in concert. They're not cowboys. Garth Brooks is not. That would be like if someone became a rock star and they wore a fucking construction hard hat. And they're like, I'm just like you. I'm just like you.
You're literally talking about Bruce Springsteen. That's who you're talking about.
But he doesn't wear a hard hat.
But he wears a fucking flannel shirt and acts like he's a fucking blue collar dude, and he's not. He's white collar as fuck. That guy's never worked a hard day as work in his life, and that's his entire career.
Don't say that about the Bruce.
That guy doesn't have a black lung.
I don't know anything about Bruce.
He wears one of those miners with the big light on it.
The big
spelunking hat. To show what a blue collar guy he is. And he's got a pickaxe on his shoulder while he plays guitar.
Yeah. Dude, he buys pre-distressed jeans. That guy's not fucking working. Fuck. You want to talk about somebody I can't stand? It's fucking Bruce Springsteen with his bullshit fucking worker man. I'm a everyman worker. Go fuck yourself, dude.
This
You're
is
a rich
going
guy.
in a completely unacceptable direction.
Why do you? Then you should feel that way about every country singer. Because that's their whole thing.
A lot of them, yeah, sure. I do. It's disingenuous.
Oh, good.
I get that. What I'm saying, though, is like cowboy hats are like, they're not just for cowboys. They have never just been for cowboys. They're like Western hats. That's the other thing, too, is there's a cowboy hat that's specific for cowboys that is to keep the sun out of your eyes while you are herding cattle. And there's other kind of Western style hats that are called cowboy, but they're not for like a dude from Texas who's getting married. He's getting married in a fucking hat, dude.
And that guy's an idiot. And let me tell you something else. That's fine. That's fine to have the style. I get having a style like, oh, you know, I wear the cowboy hat not because I have a ranch, but just because I'm from this part of the world and I like cowboy hats. I'm just saying, don't bring that style to the Met Gala or to the whatever fancy event you're going to. It looks stupid to like try and force your, you know, like, oh, I'm still hey, I know I might be on The Voice, but I'm still a rough and tumble cowboy. You know, you wouldn't want to get in a bar fight with me. You know, it's like, no, you know what I mean. You're the most metro dude in the world, and you're trying to wear a cowboy hat. So
Yeah.
I get that it's a style, but I'm just saying leave it out of the big fancy Hollywood events.
Yeah, why don't they wear spurs with their
Like George
suits?
W. Bush. Remember
their
George
tux?
W. Bush? He used to wear a cowboy hat sometimes, but you didn't see him wearing it, giving the State of the Union address.
Well, no, he wanted people to him, so
What?
he said no. Well, of course he didn't. He wanted people to listen to him.
He didn't want people to be like, look at this dumb hillbilly yuck.
I like this idea though that every style of musician should wear the hat that they're trying to represent, Like classical pianists should have to wear like old-timey
The powdered wigs.
Yeah, powdered wig. Yo-Yo Ma should have to wear a powdered wig. I'm into
John
that.
Williams, while he's making the music to the next Jurassic Park movie, has to be in a powdered wig.
Yes. That's where we're going.
I like it.
Okay. Well, you guys clearly back me up, so that sounds pretty good.
All right. Well, I think that's that's a success.
It's a great success. Thank you, everybody, for listening to the Cavalry.
Wait, Carmen's probably got stuff to plug.
Oh, yeah, Carmen.
Sure.
But remember, 2 weeks from now. Think
Oh, yeah.
2 weeks from now.
This will come out in 2 weeks.
Let's see. I will. You know what? You can just go to CarmenMorales.com. I have all of my dates of all the places I'm going to be visiting there. CarmenMorales.com for all of your Carmen Morales needs. Follow me on all the assorted social media at The Funny Carmen.
Wonderful.
There you go.
All right. And you can, let's see, nerd.com. That's October 7th. I think that's after this comes out. I'll be in Milwaukee at Dandy as part of the Milwaukee Comedy Festival. And then I'll be in Berlin on Saturday. Still, I don't have the details on that. So, johnnybeaner.com. Andrew?
Oh, well, the one I really care about.
Andrew, do you have any vague plugs that don't help your career at all?
I'm Portland. Come to my album recording October 16th, Alberta Street Pub. That's the only thing I care about. The other shows, just go to andrewcomedy.com. Thank you, everybody, for listening. We'll remember, rate, review, subscribe, Patreon. We're about to do our after show. If you want to hear the post-show banner, you got to be a Patreon member. And that's it for this time on The Cavalry.
The Cavalry!